Hi, I'm Adam McDowell with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Chicago and parkbench.com/north-center. I'm here today with Daniel Hernandez, who just founded Next Level Law over here in Lakeview and Roscoe Village. Hi, Daniel.
Hello, how's it going?
It's going good. Thanks for taking some time to talk with me.
Thank you for having me here.
So tell me a little bit about your law firm, your family law, divorce law, and you also specialize in working with victims of domestic violence.
Yes. So a lot of our clients are victims of domestic violence, or like I like to refer to them, survivors of domestic violence. And basically what we're able to do here is that we have a compassionate approach to really assisting them because we understand the trauma that they've been through. A lot of our staff here, including myself, has gone through certain trainings that allow us really to understand where the client is coming from and the worries that the client now has because of the trauma created through the domestic abuse that they received.
So does that change your approach to practicing law on their behalf?
It certainly does. There are certain facts in a divorce and a child custody matter that should be presented to the judge, and that includes facts that go around that abuse that occurred. So the big thing that we really try to do is really educate and create the story to the judge of the issues and the facts before them, right? And I think that when you don't have that compassionate background or that understanding of the trauma that someone has gone through, you're very quick at saying, "Oh, the judge doesn't care about that," right? Or that's not an issue that we can really bring before the judge. When really our family court system is trying to create the most equity, right? If you're getting a divorce, and in a child custody matter, we're really trying to look at what's in the best interest of the child, right? If you are a survivor of domestic violence and your aggressor is the parent of this other child, right? And he or she is not getting the help that they need, they may end up being a domestic violence, an aggressor of domestic violence in the future, right? To a new spouse or a new partner in front of this child, right? And that is an issue that the court wants to try to avoid.
So through working with domestic violence survivors, you've also started working with Between Friends.
Yes.
They're a nonprofit in the area. Tell me a little bit about your work with them.
Yes. So I am currently vice president of the board of directors over at Between Friends. And we are a non-for-profit that helps survivors of domestic violence through social services and counseling services. And we also have a huge prevention arm. We're inside the high schools, in health classes around the city, teaching students how to spot domestic violence and how to avoid being a victim of domestic violence. And I think that is probably the best part about the organization is that we have a studied curriculum that is on that is about to be basically like fully certified to be able to be distributed around the country, which would be great. And we are definitely working on that. But I think what's so important is that, a lot of organizations say that they're committed to ending domestic violence. And that is the slogan that our organization has, but we're actually working on it, right? And the only way we really work on making sure that domestic violence doesn't continue is by making sure that individuals are able to love themselves, to spot domestic violence as it's happening in the lowest forms of domestic violence. Because at the end of the day, to a lot of people, what triggers the word domestic violence is that they were physically abused by a domestic partner, right? But at the end of the day, that's not the only form of abuse, right? If someone is controlling your pocketbook or controlling what you do, that is also a form of domestic violence, right? So those small things that happen in relationships in high school, right? Or even, in your younger adult life, are very much so could grow into a much larger problem. And now we're able to educate students to show them, hey, these are the red flags and these are the issues you should stay away from.
That's great. I love the idea of teaching people to spot domestic violence because it isn't always what you see on TV. It isn't always what you read about or hear about. Exactly. There's different forms of it, just like everything else. It's not just one textbook definition.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for sitting down with me. You've really opened my eyes about the work you do. It's really a really cool approach.
Thank you.
I appreciate this. I think it's been a really fun interview to do.
Yeah, and thank you so much for having me. I appreciate all of your viewers, and hope that we can continue having conversations like this.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Adam McDowell with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Chicago. If you have a business in the area that you want to see me interview, let me know who it is and I'll be happy to get in touch. Thank you guys for watching.